Rich people leave the destructive Earth and live in a paradise-like space station, while poor people only dream of it. Will this distinction exist, or will equality prevail? The film begins in the year 2154, when the world is on the brink of destruction due to environmental and climate pollution. Due to this reason, many dangerous diseases have become common. The rich have taken shelter in a space station called Elysium for their survival. This place is made to represent a paradise, where there is no pollution in the environment and a cure for all kinds of diseases. It is just outside the Earth's atmosphere. Every resident has an amazing machine, medbay, which can cure every disease in a few moments. Max, a child on Earth who is an orphan, is brought to an orphanage, where he befriends a girl named Frey. The two of them are always together. Max's dream is to collect a lot of money and go to Elysium. He promises Frey that he will bring her with him and that they will be together forever, and he commits thefts to fulfill his dream. As time passes and Max grows up, he lives alone in a slum. He quit stealing and now works for a company. On the way to work, robot police try to search him, looking at his previous criminal record. Max won't let the police check his bag, so they check it forcibly and beat him badly, breaking Max's wrist. He goes to the hospital, where he meets Frey after many years, who is now a nurse. Max wants to invite Frey out for coffee, but she initially declines, then agrees at Max's insistence. Max then goes to the parole officer and wants to explain the misunderstanding with police officers, but the parole officer doesn't let him say anything and extends his parole period. When Max arrives at the Armadine Corporation, his supervisor tells him that half of his day's pay will be deducted for being late. We then see the city of Los Angeles, which is now nothing more than a large slum, and a group illegally giving people tickets to Elysium. These poor people want to somehow collect the ticket money and reach Elysium. As the three spaceships leave Earth's orbit, Elysium's defense secretary, Delacourt, tries to stop them. But when the spaceships don't return, Delacourt contacts Kruger, one of her sleeper agents on Earth. Upon receiving the order, Kruger immediately launches 4 missiles that reach space and hit the spaceships. 2 spaceships are destroyed while one lands on Elysium. Unfortunately, they are captured there. A mother rushes into a house with her disabled daughter and puts her on the med bay, and within moments the treatment is complete and the girl is on her feet. But then the guards of Elysium come and arrest them, and all these people are sent back to Earth. Patel, the president of Elysium, calls Delacourt for an explanation for taking this unauthoritative step. But Delacourt says that Elysium is her children's and her children's children's home, and she will protect it at all costs. President Patel gives her a final warning that if Delacourt takes any such action after that, she will be expelled. As John's company is in default and unable to get funding, he turns to Delacourt for help. Delacourt assures him of her help, but in return, she asks John to develop a new system for Elysium so that she can take the seat of the president. John must obey Delacourt's orders to save his company. On the other hand, Max on Earth is doing his shift accordingly. When he places the robot structures in a radiation chamber, its door cannot be closed due to a pallet being stuck. The supervisor asks him to go in and take out the pallet, and Max is forced to go in to save his job. As soon as he sets it, the door closes, and the radiation begins. All the workers come to his aid, but they are unable to shut down the system, and Max is unable to escape the dangerous radiation. A medical robot gives him first aid and a bottle of medicine and tells him that he will die in 5 days as all his organs have failed due to lethal radiation. Armadine CEO John Carlyle tells the supervisor to get Max out of there as soon as possible. On his way home, Max meets his friend Julio, and he carries him home. Max tells Julio about his accident and tells him that he doesn't want to die, so he will make it to Elysium. For this, he goes to his old friend Spider, who illegally sends people to Elysium. He asks him to give him a ticket to Elysium in exchange for him coming back and doing work for him, but Spider relents and pulls a gun on Max. Max tells him that his body is filled with so much radiation that if he shoots him, he himself will not survive. Upon hearing this, Spider tells Max that he should have told him this earlier. He tells Max that he wants the brain data of a rich man who is a resident of Elysium so that he can hack his data and withdraw a large amount of money from his account. Max agrees. Spider, noticing Max's condition, fits a third-generation skeleton suit over his body and implants a chip in his brain that allows him to copy brain data. Max selects John for stealing his data and follows John with a team built by Spider. As John's shuttle takes off to reach Elysium, Max shoots and damages his shuttle's engine. After the shuttle crashes, Max and his team fight John's robot guards. During the exchange of fire, John is shot in the chest. They copy John's data before he dies. John has secure encrypted data that cannot be copied into the system, and all the data remains in Max's chip. When Delacourt in Elysium receives this news, she tries her best to capture Max, and for this, she personally orders Kruger to bring him to her alive at all costs. Kruger confronts Max. Max gets injured in the fight between the two. He manages to escape Kruger's clutches and comes to Frey's house for help, and Frey bandages his wound. When Max regains consciousness the next morning, he meets Matilda, Frey's daughter. Frey tells Max that Matilda has leukemia, and she needs Max's help to get her daughter to Elysium for treatment. But Max says that he can't help them right now because it would put both of their lives in danger. He apologizes and leaves. Max, hiding from Kruger, arrives at Spider's base and asks him to go to Elysium. But after John's death, all the signals have been jammed, due to which they cannot go to Elysium. Kruger, on the other hand, tracks Max down to Frey's house and takes the mother and daughter hostage. This is Max's last resort, and he surrenders himself, making a deal with Kruger that he will give information in exchange for going to Elysium. To which Kruger agrees. Max sees Frey and Matilda on Kruger's ship but does not react. As they arrive at Elysium, Kruger's men attack Max, and during the fight, the ship crashes and Kruger's face is badly disfigured. Frey rushes to a house with Matilda, where she puts her on the med bay, and before she can be treated, Kruger's men arrive and arrest them both. Max is also captured and brought to a private section to have the chip in his head removed. Kruger's face heals again thanks to the med bay. He plans to use the information he gleaned from John's brain data to kill Delacourt and become the new president of Elysium. Max frees himself and comes to Frey and Matilda's aid, freeing them. Spider has planted a chip on Max, and he tracks him down to Elysium. Max sends one of Spider's men with Frey and Matilda, and they go to launch Elysium's new system themselves. But Kruger confronts them both, and a fight ensues between Max and Kruger that results in Kruger being killed. Spider connects Max's chip and renews the entire system of Elysium, in which not only Elysium but also all the people of Earth become residents of Elysium. However, in all this, Max has no time of his own and dies, but Matilda recovers. When President Patel orders the robot guards to arrest Spider, the guards refuse, saying that they cannot arrest an Elysium resident. The system detects many sick people on Earth, and many medical ships leave to visit Earth. Seeing all this, a new hope rises in people.